choose the AI options within formative. The first one we can look at is a lesson itself. So take for example World War II. Formative is an American platform, so 12th grade would be year 13. And we can go into the additional settings, select the difficulty as medium, let's say it's short length, and we can select the types of questions that we would like in there and say generate formative, and it is auto generating the formative, and once it's done you will receive a notification that it's ready. What it's come up with, it's given me a success criteria, it's given me some text, it's generated some questions with some answers in here based on the text. And then the second success criteria, again given me some text and some different types of questions. Within this you can also choose to add in some hints, so we can auto generate that hint it's come up with, so I can choose to do 1, 2 or 3 of them. Okay, and if I preview that from a student's point of view, this is what I'm going to see. Here are all my questions. They're divided into sections because they've created these success criteria. And I see for this one I've got a little hint option. So I can click on the first one, I'll get 1 hint. Click on the second one, I get a second one, etc. Choose to, within formative, generate some more questions. So I can choose either another text passage, categorize, matching, etc. And within that select the grade, the subject, the difficulty, and it will do that. So if I do true or false, again 13th grade, this is for history, let's do an easy difficulty, and again it's World War II, and I can generate. This is what it's come up with, and I can choose to add in these questions. Let's say I want this one, but I can actually choose to make it harder, and it will go back and it will make the question harder, and then I can add the questions in. For example, I can go into auto generate, say I want a matching exercise to do with the verb to go for year 9 German. I want it to be quite difficult. Let's see what it comes up with. So I don't speak German, so I can't attest to the quality of these questions, but say I want to do these 2 options, I can then add those in. One thing that we might want to do is to add a YouTube video into our lessons. So I can choose video, search a YouTube video, so let's say States of Matter. Okay, it will search YouTube for me, and then I can manually add in questions. I can choose the point at which I want to add the question. I can prevent them from skipping. So I say I add a question, whatever the question type is, and as soon as that timestamp comes up on the video, the question will automatically pop up with it. It's time consuming to create the questions from the video, so I can use ChatGPT. If you have the paid version, you can enable these plugins. So I'm going to use DocMaker and VoxScript for this one. So I'm going to say watch this video and make 10 multiple choice questions. and it will read the transcript of the video, and then it will create the 10 multiple choice questions based on it. So it's enabling the plugin there now. Now it's actually made the questions. I can go and copy and paste these into Formative, or I can say create a PDF of these questions, and then it will enable the other plugin called DocMaker. Okay, so it will create an external link for me, and it will have turned those questions into a Word document that I can edit, or a nice little PDF that I can then download. Okay, so GCSE chemistry questions are there. I can go into Formative now, and I can say enhance a document, and I can upload said document from my downloads. There's GCSE chemistry questions. It's going to read this. I can then add in the questions, and I can click this button, add them in manually myself, or use this parse with AI button. There are my questions, and what the Formative is going to do now, it's going to read this document and it's going to create the questions here for me automatically. So here are my questions, but what I notice is the answers aren't there, and I don't want to have to manually think about this. So I'm going to go back to GPT, and I'm going to go create an answer key for the questions, and it is going to give me all of the answers, B, A, C, B. So then I can just go B, A, C, B. So with this enhance a document feature, it will read what type of question it is, if it's multiple choice or free response, etc., and it will create the questions there for you automatically. The drawbacks of ChatGPT is that it doesn't have access to anything post 2021, but with these plugins you have Wolfram, for example, and it has access to the internet. So you can say what is today's date and weather, just to prove that it is in real time. It's come back and it's asked me for my location, so I'm going to say UAE. And it's come back and it's told me that it's the 12th of September. And to get the current weather, I would need to search for it. Yes. And it's come back with the weather, and it's told me where it's gotten it from. But it's in Fahrenheit, so I can say, can you change to Celsius? And it will do that. It just converts them automatically. Okay, so those are some of the more advanced features of GPT-4, but if you have the free version, these are the types of things that you can ask it to do if you're lesson planning, for example. This is the prompt that I've given it. Imagine you are a chemistry teacher, create a 30-minute lesson on types of bonding, and provide some assessment for learning questions. So it gives me the objective, some timestamps, some materials, and if we look at some of the options that it has given us, and I might think, okay, create some support for EAL or ELL students. Okay, so it suggests visual aids and diagrams. Things like mind maps, bilingual glossaries might help. So I can ask it to create the bilingual glossary for this lesson. And there is the bilingual glossary. It's chosen Spanish. I can choose it to be any language that I want. It's also said about graphic organizers, so I can use another plugin for that. So here's an example of that. I asked it to create a mind map for a topic I was doing with my kids the other day. So I had to create a mind map, and it used this plugin called Diagrams, and it created a mind map for the topic. And there it is. I can give that to the students, or I can go and I can edit it if I want. Okay, so I can ask it, create 10 multiple choice questions on states of matter, and based on this, create 3 leveled worksheets for students who score above 75, above 50, and below 50% on the MCQ. Created the MCQ. This is what it gave me as the response for the worksheets. So I can say, can you, let's not capitalize it, can you create the actual worksheets? Now it's come back and it's given me something to work with, and then I can say, can you create sentence starters for ELL support for each worksheet? And it's given me the sentence starters that I could use with the students. What people want to know about a lot is, can I get AI to make PowerPoints for me? Canva has a tool for that. So you can create a blank presentation, and it has this feature called Magic Design. So let's say design technology resistant materials, and it will make a presentation. So it's come back and given me this, given me some images I can put in. You can change the type of design there. Okay, create the presentation. It talks about the objectives, etc. Talks about the types of resistant materials, so including metals, woods. So I can then add a page, add in a text box, and within this text box I can choose to do, which is this little button down here, and it's the Canva Assistant. Click this button and I go edit with Magic Write, and I can say write 5 bullet points about types of metal, and it will then come back with the different types of metal, and I can put that into my PowerPoint.